we're going to hike another part of the Manoosnoc Trail. This time from Elm Street, which is where we are now, that way heading towards downtown Leominster, that way heading towards Sterling, or the next street, Wachusett, on the left. And from here, we're going to go to the top of that hill, or very close to it, and we're going to get a view from the second vista. There are only two vistas, so here's the second one. And as always, the Manoosnoc Trail is marked off with blue dots. And as we see here, and here's a fail that I'll point out, is that this gate is closed so that vehicles that should not be on these trails cannot get on here. Here's the fail. Some ATVs could get through that, and that's one of the vehicles they're trying to avoid, hence why there's closed gates. But it's always open. And that blue dot with the arrow indicates further up Elm Street is where the trail continues. And that was my thumb. So up the trail we go to the second of two vistas that are on the trail. And you saw my fingers again because I'm trying to adjust this so I can hold it naturally and see what I'm doing. Now, as you can notice, it's extremely wet. Because here in the northeast, right now it's April 8th, 2011, when this is recorded. This is known as mud season, because all of the snow that's melting at the top of these hills drains down, add any rainfall into any recessed areas like this trail, and you wind up with mud. During the summer, it usually does dry up, but not always. So here we go. And if we can do this fast enough, which I have before, this video may be short enough that I can upload it in full 1080p. If you've seen my first video of the first vista overlooking Fitchburg, Leominster, and everything else, we were heading south. Here we're heading north. So if we were to follow this, we would also hit Vista 1. But we're doing Vista 2, which is at the top of that hill. This hike is a little difficult. I'm just a tad under the weather, so if I sound a little labored, that's pretty much why. Now this was all woods, they just chopped a lot of this off. This was very bumpy. It was bulldozed. And while we're here, this trail goes through some power lines, which these ultimately come from Sterling, Mass, which is about maybe 5 miles from here, if you follow the lines. And there's a view right there. And these power lines, again, I got my viewfinder at an angle that is natural for showing you the trail, not for showing off other stuff. So here we come through some more muck. This is actually Leominster water property. So it's perfectly legal to cut through the through the power lines. And this is relatively new. They did this last year. It's because, again, through the mud season and any rainy events, up the hill there's some ponding and we get water runoff. And this loose granite rock helps the water drain, and it gives us something to walk on, because it was all pretty much like this at one point. Rather nasty. So now we get a crust through the muck. Squish, squish, squish. Now the fire road, if you saw the orange F, continues that way. In fact, there's the orange F right there, indicating fire road. And you see the blue dot with the arrow. It's telling you if you're going the other way, this is the direction to follow the Manoosnoc Trail. And over here is the dot pointing this way, which is where we're going. And this can be a little confusing. Again, it's showing people going the other way. Again, this viewfinder's pointed odd, so I kind of lose bearing. And those that are heading the way we are, it tells you to go to the right. Although if you take it literally, you just walk in the trees. But there's the trail right there. Now it gets hard, and it pretty much doesn't let up. Now this was a walking trail, but we've had some really nasty mud seasons, and this usually is a brook. It's not supposed to be. In fact, it dried up. I was here a couple days ago and this was completely underwater. You can see it's a little wet there. This is an area you want to go slow, especially going down. This is what most of it looked like the last time I was here. And again, to let you know you're going the right way, some of this has been redone, is that you have trees with the blue dots. This one's kind of old, but there's one right there. But further up, you can see fresh ones. And right here, to help curb some of the water damage done by ATVs in nature, this dead log was placed here. So the water running from up that way would be diverted down this trail, which ruined that. But it was supposed to save trails that were further down here. Ultimately, as you can see, their system failed and it's carved its own way down the hill anyway. So from here it gets much smoother. And we can pick up the pace yet again, although the hill gets very steep at this point. As you can see, we've entered the southernmost edge of the abandoned granite quarry. The trail goes this way, but we'll just step out over here, and you can see how it's terraced. This was a granite quarry, as I said. You can see where they dug it out. Up we go. This was a service road that we're on right now, right here. And this terrace right here enters this terrace, right where the last part of the granite quarry was excavated. And now we're on the trail again, indicated by the blue dots. Things get a bit easy over here. Even with the rocks. Still a good idea to take these rocky sections a little slow. And here's where they stopped at this point. And straight ahead, you can see a wall. That's where they, for the most part, stopped. And there was some excavation that occurred at the top still. But this camera makes it look really small, but in person, this is kind of intimidating. We're on the final terrace. There's the rock. And our trusty blue friend, our trusty little blue friends on the trees tell us we're heading the right way. And here comes the hardest part. We're climbing this cliff. But where we're climbing, it's not really that hard, because we're climbing the very lip. Care must be taken here because you got all these dead leaves, and you follow these rocks, which almost make this like a stairway. And up we go. Whoops. Gotta find the flat spots. And once you make the second half of the turn, it's fairly easy. And there's our blue dots. Now we climb all this rock. There's our trusty blue friend right there, letting you know, again, what to follow. Alrighty, we are going to stop here. As you can see, we just got up from down there. And this is looking down at the edge. Yeah, you don't want to fall down here. That'd be a nasty fall. We're about 80 feet. It's really hard to scale it on camera. Makes it look smaller. I have a feeling with some of these stops I may have to down-convert this video. And again, I might not really have to. Alrighty, here we come to a Spur Trail. It's part of a trail system that offshoots the Manoosnoc. They are indicated by yellow dots. We are going to take this yellow dot trail, which at the end leads to a vista trail. We have intersection numbers along the Manoosnoc Trail. This one is number 8. If you go further up this trail, intersection 7 will take you to the same place. But we're going to do it here. And another very steep climb. And again, I reposition my viewfinder. Up the very steep hill we go. I mean, this is insanely steep. In fact, I'm holding the camera perfectly straight. You can't see the hill. There's the hill. And there's me holding it straight. That's how steep it is. And now we're following our yellow friends. And not far from here is the South Manoosnoc Hill Vista. That's the big hill that I showed you at the very beginning. I don't remember if I told you what it was. And of course, talking to this really makes me a little out of breath. And from this way, when you see this bed of rock here, you know you're pretty much there. So once you get over this, I'm just going to take the easy way. Here we are. Here's the grand view. There's not much to see here, but still, it's quite a nice view. Right there is Wachusett Mountain, and there are the ski trails right there. You're gonna have to, pardon me, hold on, let me put this in my more stable hand. And there's the trails. Let's do a small amount of digital zoom. Oh, now we're in digital. Alrighty. Like I said, pardon the jiggles. This was a tough climb. And I do have tremors. For a minute I thought I saw a skier. Anyway, as you can see from there, that's Wachusett Mountain. And Behind the trees, it's really hard to see, but right there in the center, yeah, you can see a lake. Leominster Sportsmen Association owns that, and they're out of view. I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly you can see Worcester from here. I'm not sure. We're in digital zoom now. And I think there's too much hill between us. Focus, Sony. Oh, we got some farmland here. Put it back in optical. There we go. Yeah, we can't see Worcester. I don't even know if it's true or not. So that's how to get to the second vista point on the, for the most part, Manoosnoc Trail until we hit the Spur Trail. Intersection 7 or 8 will get you here. Here are the nice wood benches that they have. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good one.